Hello, everybody. I'm Darlene, and welcome to my channel, Darlene's This and That. The reason that I titled it that is because I talk about all kinds of things. We talk about health care, lifestyle, decorating, makeup, skincare, fashion, accessorizing. We talk about everything. All things related to beauty, lifestyle, and just in life general. So today, I want to ask you, if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe and even hit the bell for notifications so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new YouTube video. So thank you for joining me today. I've been asking people to give me tips or comment about what they would like for me to talk about here on this channel. I created this channel years ago doing makeup tips. I was selling makeup at the time, and I thought that that would be a great way to kind of start showing people how to apply makeup, how to use these different products. And I quit selling these particular makeup products, so I just kind of let this channel kind of go to the wayside. But more and more, I've had you to ask me to start addressing some of these things, like how I do my makeup, what do I do to stay fit, how do I keep my weight down, what do I do for skincare, how do I do my hair, let me see your home. You talk about chalk painting. I chalk paint all kinds of things. So I've decided to come back to YouTube and give this another try. So we talk about all things, and mostly things that are related to women in general. So I wanted to welcome you to my channel. And today, because a lot of you have mentioned this in your comments, I decided that today I would address this issue. A lot of you have said, at your age, how do you find the ways that are effective in keeping your weight down? Because let's face it, the older we get, the harder it is to lose weight. Now, I'm 66 years old, and weight has always been an issue for me. It runs in my family. It's part of my DNA. Um, and so I'm going to talk about over the years how I've struggled with my weight, ups and downs, and what has worked for me, what hasn't, and coming to terms with the fact that it's just a lifestyle choice. So, welcome everybody, and thank you for hopping on. As I said, I'm 66 years old, and I think one of the things that really gets me the most is when people say, I bet you eat anything you want to and you never gain a pound. And that could not be farther from the truth. Everything I eat either goes to my thighs, to my arms, to my behind. I am only 5 foot tall. That's a challenge within itself. Another story for another day. But my weight is around 105 to 110. That's kind of my goal weight range. Right now, I'm between 111 and 113. So I could stand to lose a couple of pounds. And as the older I get, I have found that statement is true, that back when I was younger, I could diet for a day or two and I could drop 5 pounds just like that. But today, not so much. We know that as we age, our metabolism slows down. We go through menopause, we have hormone imbalances, and we deal with a lot of different things as we age. So now to lose 3 or 4 pounds is a struggle for me. Let me go way back. When I say that it's been part of my lifestyle, it really has. It's just a fact that I had to come to terms with years ago. And when I say that, I'm talking in my 20s. I got married right out of high school at the age of 18 and started taking birth control pills. And I found shortly after taking birth control pills that I was going to have a weight issue. Now, obesity runs in my family on my mother's side. Not so much on my dad's side. His sisters, he was a smaller framed man. He wore like a 7.5 shoe. For a man, that's pretty small. He was kind of a petite guy, about 5'8", 5'8.5". And he was the kind that could eat anything he wanted and probably never gain a pound. His sisters were all pretty much tall and thin. But on my mother's side, a completely different story. My mother, as far back as I can ever remember, was always overweight. She was obese pretty much all that time. And I'm going to turn my phone off because I forgot to. Sorry about that. Um, so, as far back as I can remember, my mother was overweight. And I can see pictures of her even when my mom and my dad were dating back when she was young. She wasn't what we would call fat or overweight, but she was not thin by any means. She was average. So all of her sisters were pretty much obese, um, except for one. Her sister Frida was not overweight, but her other sisters were overweight and obese. My mother, the only time that I can remember that she was kind of average again, from looking back to her younger pictures, was when I was pregnant with my daughter. And that was back in the 70s. She had gone to a doctor to take diet pills, and she went on a diet and she lost quite a bit of weight. She was working then, she was active, and she was really feeling good, looking good, but that was short lived. Mother was a great cook. She loved to cook. And with that, she loved to eat. And I was raised in the South, and we fried everything. I mean, that's just the way it was. We fried vegetables, we fried everything. So we not only had fried meats, we had fried potatoes, fried okra, fried squash, fried this, fried that. Everything back in our day, or my day in the South, we fried. We were also, every meal we had bread, whether it was biscuits in the morning, cornbread in the evening, fritters in the afternoon, whatever. We had bread at every meal. So I grew up learning to love those kinds of foods. I love biscuits and gravy. My mother used to fix this gravy. She called it her chocolate gravy. And it was like a chocolate cocoa, thick, just rich chocolate gravy. And we would take our biscuits and we would open them up, put a lot of butter on there, slather that chocolate gravy on there. And you talk about being in heaven. I was in heaven. So bread is my weakness, and that's my vice. That's where I have a hard time resisting breads. I have a sweet tooth somewhat. I like salty things too. I like chips and things like that. But my vice, if I have to say or pick one, would be bread. And we know that bread turns into sugar, and we know that that's not a good thing. So let me kind of tell you what I've had to do over the years to keep my weight down. Now, in saying that, obesity runs in my family, and my whole family has dealt with and is still dealing with weight issues. Myself, my daughter, my granddaughter, my nieces, my um, all the women in our family, and my brother had weight issues too. He also did. He passed away a couple of years ago, but he dealt with weight issues as well. So my mother's side and all of us, we dealt with that early on. And when I started gaining weight, I knew that it was going to be a decision that I was going to have to make. Am I going to just eat what I want and enjoy it and have to deal with being overweight for the rest of my life, like my mom did, and other members in my family, my sister, and all of us? Or am I going to break that cycle and I'm going to change that? And I decided that I was going to change that. Um, and so that's what I've done. And I title this, How Do I Stay Fit? It's all about lifestyle choices and things like that. And everything in life is a choice. I was thinking about how I was going to kind of explain this, but every day we wake up and we make choices. We make choices about what we're going to eat for breakfast. We make choices if we work or go outside of the home. We make choices what we're going to wear for the day. We go to lunch. We make choices on what we'd like to eat. We come home, we make choices on what we're going to cook for dinner. We make choices when we sit down and we have family time and we're going to watch TV. What would you like to watch? You go somewhere on vacation, where would we like to go? It's all about choices. And so this was a choice for me that I had to make early on. And I've pretty much stuck with it all these years. I've never been obese. I've never been a whole lot of overweight. I don't know how to, I don't like to say the word fat, but I've never been really overweight. Probably 20 pounds is the most I've ever gained. And on a 5 foot frame, that's a lot. Um, Even when I was pregnant with my daughter, I only gained 17 pounds. So 20 pounds probably was the most I've ever been over my goal weight or my normal weight or the weight that I like to stay at. Um, Probably the smallest I've been was around 85 pounds. And I got down to 85 pounds, probably less than that, when I was going through marital problems, divorce, finding out my husband was unfaithful right after I'd had our daughter. So I wound up in the hospital with stomach issues and things like that, and would go days and not eat, and didn't even remember when the last time it was that I ate. And I remember putting on a pair of shorts one time and they just kind of fell off of me. And my mother-in-law said, Darlene, you've lost way too much weight. And I look at those pictures. I don't have them anymore. They're down there somewhere in my box of memorabilia, but I was sickly looking. But I've always gained weight real easy, so I knew I could gain that weight once I started eating again. And so I did. Now, let me go back and say that I've gone through a whole lot in my life. I got married right out of high school, and I married someone that I thought loved me. But shortly after we got married, I realized that he really didn't. So I went through a very tumultuous relationship, a horrible marriage, 12 years together, 2 marriages, 2 divorces. And in between all those marriages and divorces, we lived together, in and out, back and forth. And this man was very cruel. He wasn't so much of a physical abuser, but he was more of a mental abuser. And the reason that I say that is because basically what he did to me was to beat me down so bad that I didn't think that anybody else would ever love me, because he knew that one day I would get enough of what he was doing and I would probably leave. And he didn't want me to. So he wanted to beat me down and make me think that I was unlovable, unworthy, unattractive, and all those things. He wanted me to think that nobody else would ever want me. And so that's the way he treated me. He never told me I was pretty. He used to say, you're going to get fat one day, just like the rest of your family. And I'm not going to stay around for that. I don't like fat women. And it was always ingrained in my mind anyway that I had a weight issue. And then he continuously to push that narrative that if I did gain weight or got fat, he would leave. And I don't remember him ever telling me I was pretty. Now, if I came out and we were going to go somewhere and I had on some outfit that didn't look good, he would say, you're not going to wear that, are you? But if I came out and I looked good, he would never say, oh, wow, that looks great. He wouldn't say anything. He was a narcissist. He was an evil, cruel man. And he wasn't only cruel to me, but he was cruel to our daughter. Never gave us any words of kindness. He was just mean and cruel and vindictive. So, and I had to say that because I think that helped me to be determined that I was never going to let myself get fat. I think he helped to ingrain that and impress that upon me that one day I'm going to get fat and I'm going to do everything, by golly, that I'm not going to get fat. So I think that helped me in making those choices of better eating habits and things like that, is that I'm going to show him that he's wrong. I'm going to prove to him he's not right about this. He would call me fat mama, even though I wasn't fat. That's just the way he treated me. So I think, him being a narcissist and really insecure because he knew what he was doing, and he knew that one day I would grow up and I would mature and I'd get enough of being treated that way and I would leave. And so he wanted to beat me down so bad that I wouldn't leave, because I would think that nobody would ever want me. But I got to the to the realization that I didn't care if I lived by myself the rest of my life. It was better than the life I was living with him. And so eventually I grew up, I matured, and I got out. Best thing I ever did. But I'm just saying that to say this, that I think that helped me to have the willpower to stay on track a lot of times when probably I wouldn't have. You know, sometimes you've ever heard people say, well, I'm sassy, fat, and happy. And a lot of times when we're in a good place in life, we're out enjoying life, we're going to restaurants, we're eating, we're cooking, we're grilling, we're doing all this stuff. Sometimes when we're in those happy situations, we do tend to gain weight. We eat more. But for me, I was a depressed not eater. If I got depressed or down, sometimes people say when I get depressed, I eat. I was right the opposite. I would not eat. But if I'm in a happy place, of course, we're going out to eat a lot, and I have to struggle with my weight now when we're on vacation and we go to these places. And of course, I splurge. I splurge every now and then. Of course, I do. I'm not going to deprive myself of things that I really enjoy. I'm just not going to do it every day. I'm going to do it every now and then. So, what I've decided to do is I'm going to make lifestyle changes, and I'm going to make lifestyle choices that I'm going to make sure that if I ever get overweight, that it will not be because I have not tried. So all that I've done over the years, I've never gone to a doctor. I've never taken diet pills, anything like that. I've just made smart food choices. I don't eat anything fried. I couldn't tell you the last time I've had French fries or onion rings or a big old juicy hamburger. I can't tell you the last time I had something. Now, I might have a bite of one, but to go away and sit down at a restaurant and order a hamburger and French fries and something like that, I don't eat. I don't eat that way. I eat grilled meats. I'm not a big meat eater, but if I eat meats, it's grilled chicken, grilled fish, salmon, shrimp, things like that. I eat a lot of salads. I love rice. I love brown rice, and I eat brown rice probably 3 to 4 times a week. I like pasta, but I don't eat pasta. I'll eat toast every now and then because I've just got to have my bread fix. But I'll eat the Ezekiel bread or the keto bread or something like that. And I've just decided in my life that I'm going to make these smart choices. Now, the reason that it's made me decide to stay on this track is because the choice that I had to make is, am I going to just eat whatever I want to? And then when I get ready to go somewhere, I put on something and I can't fit in anything. And I put on something and I'm not happy with the way I look. And so I just decide to not go because I can't find anything to wear. And I'm going to stay home. And because I stayed home, I'm going to be depressed and blah, 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 blah. So I've decided that I'm going to be the best that I can be at whatever age I am. I'm going to make smart choices. Listen, when they say we are what we eat, we are. What we put into our body is going to come out some way or another through high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever the case may be, overweight, obesity. And usually when you go on a diet and you start eating healthier, you come off most of your medications. We are what we put in our body. It's fuel for us to continue living. What we feed our bodies is fuel. So we can either put good fuel in there or we can put bad fuel. So I just make smart food choices. Now, I've had to find what food regimen, diet regimen works best for me. And you'll have to do that too. And it's just through trial and error. Some people say, well, I have to eat 3 meals a day. I can't do that. I've tried that in the past and I always gain weight. I don't care what I eat in those 3 meals. I can't eat a good full 3 meals a day. So I'm not a breakfast eater. So I get up in the mornings and I have my coffee. And then about 10:30 or 11, I start getting hungry. So I have me a good lunch. I'll do grilled salmon and a good salad. Or I'll have like rice and chicken or something like that. But I have me a good lunch that fills me up, that satisfies me and is healthy as well. But I'll usually have me a good full lunch. And then around 1:30 or 2 o'clock, I go to work out. I go to the Y to work out. I do some cardio. I do about 20, 25 minutes on the treadmill. And then I do some toning exercises. It's very important, especially as we age and we get the loose skin and the bat wings and all that kind of stuff, that we also do weight exercises, resistance exercises, either with free weights, machines, resistance bands, or something like that. So I try to go anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week to the gym. And cardio is going to be a key to helping you work off those extra calories. So cardio is very important as well. I was an avid runner back in the day. I used to run every day after work, at least 5 to 6 miles a day. Now I can't do that because of my arthritis. I've taken a beating in my body because of the pounding on the pavement for years when I was running. And now I have bone on bone in both my knees. I have hip issues. I have arthritis in my hands, my feet, my back, my spine. It's all in my body. So now I have to deal with those issues. And so because of that, my exercise is limited. I can't do squats and I can't do lunges and things like that. So I've had to kind of work around the exercise things that works for toning your legs and your derriere and certain things that I have to work with what I can physically do. So I've worked with things that I found that I can do that doesn't cause me any more damage or physical pain. And I make sure that I do put in a good exercise routine in my weekly schedule. I think that's very important. And I've just learned that it's a choice. It's a lifestyle choice, and it has worked for me over the years. I'll gain weight, and then I'll drop it back down. I'll go out and I'll splurge and I'll eat bread and I'll eat pie and cake and ice cream or whatever. And then I get right back on my diet. When I start putting on those jeans and they won't fasten like they did last week, I just know I got to buckle down and get busy doing what I need to do and back on schedule. I don't let it get to me like I used to. I'm going to get it off. I'm just going to have to work harder this week. So it's just really basically a lifestyle choice. Find what works for you. But eat foods that satisfy you. Don't deprive yourself and think, oh, I can't have that. I love it, but I can't have it. You can have it, just have it in moderation. And I love bread. So I do eat bread every now and then. I go out and I get the yeast rolls with the honey butter. I love that. I'll have one. It's hard for me to stop at one, but I'm having my treat. You know what I mean? So don't deprive yourself because you'll never be happy and you'll always feel like you're cheating yourself. Eat what you enjoy, but eat it in moderation and don't eat it every day. Have a cheat day or go out on Saturdays, you and your honey or your best friend or whatever, and let that be your splurge day. Another thing is stay away from alcohol. Alcohol has a lot of added calories. So if you're going to drink alcohol, don't do it every day because it can add pounds onto you rather quickly. These coffee drinks like iced coffees and things like that we go out and get, a lot of these have a lot of hidden calories. So even though you're drinking it and not eating it, still those calories are in there and they can add up very, very quickly. So I just wanted to come on here and kind of address that weight has always been an issue for me. It always has been and it always will be. I'm not one that can eat what I want to and just stay small. I can't do that. Wished I could. That's not the way God created me, and my DNA is not made that way. I don't have that metabolism where I can just eat everything and it just goes somewhere, but it's not here. Everything I eat, I can see it on my body, literally. But I wanted to address this because a lot of you have asked me, how have you stayed small all these years? And it's just been a sacrifice. It's been a choice. And I've come to terms with, I don't even think anything about it anymore. We'll go out to eat and my husband will say, you always make the best food choices. He'll be over there with a big old hamburger and French fries and a milkshake. And I'm over there with my salad with grilled salmon or something on top and my ice water, But that makes me happy because I feel good about my choices. At the end of the day, when I go home, I'm proud of the choices that I made. I did good today. And every day is a battle. I wake up every day and battle this. But it's just a lifestyle choice. And, I'm going to splurge sometimes and I'm going to eat what I want. And if I go to a party and they're serving cake for a birthday party, I'm going to have a slice of cake. I'm not going to have a big slice, but I'm going to have a slice of cake. I'm going to eat the things I enjoy. I'm just going to eat them in moderation. And Don't stress so much about it, but just know that if you have a weight problem, it's going to always be a choice of whether you're going to give in to the temptations to eat those things you shouldn't and just give up and give into it. At the end of the day, it's about whether or not you're happy with who you are and where you are. And when you look in the mirror, if you're happy with the person looking back. And for me, it's being healthy. I want to be around for my grandchildren's children, and I want to be around for a long time, and this is the only body I'm ever going to have, and I'm going to do everything I can to treat it with kindness and respect, because I don't want to be on all kind of medications, and I don't want to be so obese I can't get up and go anywhere, or I'm out of breath when I go to the mailbox and back. I want to be as healthy as I can and not take any kind of medications. And the only way that I'm going to do that is to take accountability for what I put inside my body. Happiness for me comes with being healthy, feeling good, getting out and enjoying life. And so it's all about lifestyle choices. Just like I said, it's a choice that you make, and whatever happiness is to you, just reach for it. If happiness is for you to cook and eat and just not worry about it, and you just get out and enjoy life, and you're just going to go out, and if you get overweight, that's fine too. Listen, it's all about what makes you happy. We all have different desires and wants and needs in life, and we all have different pleasures in life. And I remember my mother saying, I'm going to close on this. I remember my mother saying she had bad knees and had to have both her knees replaced. And I remember telling her one time her doctor had been on her and on her about losing weight. She was on high blood pressure medicine. She had congestive heart failure. She was not in good shape. Um, and I remember talking to her and I said, Mom, if you would try to get some of this weight off, your knees probably wouldn't hurt you so bad. And she said to me, she said, Darlene, the only joy in life I see anymore is eating. And I said, well, then eat. If that's your joy, this was after my dad had passed away and had been gone for over 10 years. And she said, that's my joy now. That's what I enjoy. I like cooking and I like eating. I said, then eat. If that makes you happy, go for it. And I meant that. If that was her joy in life and that's what she found pleasure in, then I wasn't going to take that away from her. I loved her no matter what. I wanted her to be healthy. I wanted her to stick around a little bit longer. She died in 2010 from congestive heart failure and cancer. But I wasn't trying to make her do something she didn't want to do. But when she said, eating is the only pleasure I see anymore. And I said, when it makes you happy, do it. And that's what I'm telling you today. Do what makes you happy. And so I wanted to address this. A lot of you have asked me, and I wanted to get rid of the myth that I eat anything I want. That could not be farther from the truth. I drink a lot of water. I think if you want to really see some changes in your weight, get rid of the sodas and the rich drinks and start drinking water every day, all day long. You will be amazed at how much weight you will drop without even trying. So I just wanted to dispel that myth. A lot of you have asked me that. People ask me that all the time. I bet you eat anything you want. And I said, that could not be farther from the truth. And people say, yeah, right. But it is a struggle, always has been and always will be. I just choose the right choices for me that make me the happiest. So here's to good health to you and good choices. You do what makes you happy. Again, thank you for coming on here. Please share this video if you'd like to. Please like and subscribe. Thank you again. Please check back. I will be doing some more videos. I have been working on doing a full house tour since I'm decorating for fall, and that will be coming up probably next week sometime. I'm waiting on a piece of furniture. So thank you for hopping on here at Darlene's This and That, where we talk a whole lot about this, a whole lot about that. Y'all have a great day. Until the next time I see you, stay safe. Bye-bye.